Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. It's been some time since I've done a video, mainly because there hasn't really been anything released in the past few updates that have been worthy to actually do a video on. It's been about a month and a half, but we finally now have a new ship we can review. And there's some sister ships, some adjustments to other ships, and some preview ships as well we can look at. So we're going to do that today, and we're going to play the brand new ship. Before that, I am just coming off of COVID for the last couple weeks, so if I do have a slight cough, I apologize. I will do my best not to cough, but we shall see. So, right off the bat, we have a brand new ship like you can see here. We'll go over that in a moment, but let's take a look at the content for the earlier updates. Alright, so I'm actually going to start with the update that came out on November 2nd. We did already go over this. However, I did miss something that was quite important actually. There's a sister ship of the German battleship H-41 in the coupon shop. For me, that is Rhineland, and I kind of stumbled across it because I didn't read it here, or at least I skipped over it. So it was a nice little surprise for me. So I can show you that sister ship. It's actually a very, very nice looking sister ship as well. And it actually makes me like that ship a lot more. It's sometimes funny how you have a normal ship and you don't really enjoy playing it, but as soon as it gets a nice camo, you fall in love with it all over again. I've had that a few times in my case. All right, let's go to the next update. So this one came out on November 9th. We have a sister ship of Giuseppe Garibaldi. I really like this cruiser. I don't really like the camo. I will show it to you, but it could have been better in my opinion. So there were some packs. You can see some changes to the U.S. battleship. So that additional damage control party that I had mentioned in my last video, literally the next update they took it out and they haven't done anything else with it. So they're not nearly as overpowered as they were for that 1 week. There might be something else with that later on, who knows. But for right now, the American battleships are just the way they are right now. British aerial torpedoes, increased flood chance. Brooklyn got an anti-air barrage and a radar. Ooh, I forgot about that. It was 11-kilometer radar too. It's pretty good. Fargo and Worcester have increased radar range. You can read this all here. Renown got some additional repair consumable cooldown. That's nice. Nagato got some more range. You can see it's all little tiny stuff, which is all nice and everything. November 16th update is a little bit better. We had some rank point packs come out. Lafayette is available per preview in the tech tree. That is the Tier 9 French destroyer. I've already renamed that to Le Hardy, since that was the name of the class that this ship was part of. The camo, the Halloween camo of Illustrious, is available to buy. Some changes to detectability here for Shimikaze, Gearing, and Timmerman. And then some Prinzeugen modules. Really small update on the 23rd of November. German cruiser Seydlitz is available for preview in the tech tree. That is the ship we will be going over today. I have since changed her name as well. I'll get to that in a moment. Changes to Yamato refit. For me, that's a Kaishi. She has increased rate of fire, which is always nice. Albemarle has some rudder change time. And Izumi, which for me is Hiraga. Pretty sure it's Hiraga. It has air detectability changes as well. Some just small stuff for this one. For November 30th, we can see the Tier 10 French destroyer Mogador. It's available for preview. She's still not out yet, but we do get Lafayette, so we're able to play her. I will not go over the French destroyers yet because they are not all out yet. There is actually a split line of them. I don't know if they're going to do one half of the line first and then do the other half later on. There's been no word on the split half of the line yet. But we'll see. I will figure out what I want to do with my videos on the French destroyers when that time comes. More changes to Renown, increase the fire rate. Missouri has some increased rudder time, and L3, for me that's Centurion. We have faster acceleration, which is always nice as well. December 7th, we have German cruiser Seydlitz is available in the gem shop. So she is a gem ship. She does not get the free XP bonuses of the Prism ships or the Prism camo ships, but she is still one really nice ship. Just some packs. Changes to Sverdlov, increased fire rate. Guam, increased the repair consumable by 1. Gneisenau has increased fire rate. H39 has increased secondary range from 7.0 to 7.5, which is actually a pretty big jump as well. Because H41, for me that's Rhineland, also has 7.5. That was one of her stronger points or advantages over H39. And it's really good. So to have H39 with Frederick de Gross have 7.5 KM2, a full secondary build is just that much more stronger. Some changes to Lafayette, and sinking animations from Defender and Guam. And then, lastly, the most recent update, which was this week, 2 days ago. Changes to Lafayette already. Surface detectability was decreased. Deceleration was increased. Hakaze has some changes as well. She has a new researchable torpedo. Considering she's a ring point ship and I don't have her, I will not be going over that. Kronstadt has a new fire control module. Actually, I forgot about that. I'll have to take a look at that. And then fix some modules on Prinzwegen and Seydlitz. So overall, nothing too major. We got some sister ships. We got this brand new ship. Before I forget, let's check out that module on Kronstadt. There you are. Let's see what we got. Increases our range, secondary range, and fire control precision for the 15-inch guns only. I don't really like the 15-inch guns though. For me, she was going to be built with, the 12s, so I prefer the 12s. And these are German turrets also. I don't know. I just prefer the 12s, but this is a very nice addition. If you have the 15s, because then you're an extremely good cruiser killer, and you can even take on battleships pretty decently. Alright, let's go check out the French destroyers real quick. It's America. There we go. So this is the Hardy. She has 3 twin guns, 2 triple torpedo tubes, and 2 twin torpedo tubes for a total of 5 per side. She's extremely fast. She turns, well, she wishes she could turn, honestly. That is one thing with the French destroyers, is that they're really, really fast, and therefore that means that they don't like to turn at all. But she's extremely fast. Her guns are pretty okay. They're still pretty large caliber, but the larger, or the higher in the tier you go, the less impact these large guns have. And then your torpedoes still hit like a truck, but with only 5 of them, you're still kind of outgunned. Yeah, so the French destroyer line, based on speed, hard-hitting guns, and hard-hitting torpedoes, is very, very strong at lower tiers, but the higher tier you go, the more danger you face, and honestly, the less effective you're becoming. Maybe it's just because I'm not familiar with the ship yet, but Borask is a really, really fun ship. These are out for research by now as well, so if you like them or don't have them, definitely try them. Eagle's pretty okay. The Quailin is starting to get to the point where it starts to struggle. Le Terrible at tier 8 is, again, just really starting to struggle. And the Hardy is, you can't really get close to anything. You have slow shells. Your torpedoes hit hard, but they don't have a lot of range, so you have to get close. When you get close, you're going so fast you can't turn, so you become a very easy target. And then AA just, it doesn't exist on these. So there's that too. We can look at tier 10 Mogador. So it has 4 twin guns, 2 triple torpedo tubes, and 2 twin torpedo tubes. I'm actually really excited for this ship, but I don't feel it'll have any difference from my experience on the Hardy right now. I feel like there is a special play style with these French destroyers that is very, very different from all the other destroyers in the game, and it'll take some time for me to figure out how exactly to play these to the best. But for right now, they are really, really beautiful ships. They look amazing, and they're really, really fun too, because all of these have the heals, the speed boosts, and their guns hit hard, and their torpedoes hit even harder. All right, so let's check out the camos now. We have H41. I have to remember which one. This is a camo. I really like white camos. There's just something about them that are really, really nice. And so this one is a very, very nice addition. It's made me actually want to play this ship a lot more frequently now. Looks really good. Simple, but effective. And then the Italian one, the Garibaldi. Actually, before that, let me go back to this one real quick. I have renamed the sister ship of this one, Weissenberg. And then when we go to Italy, that's Raphael, there we go, Garibaldi. I tried doing Duca della Abruzzi, but you only have so many letters you can use in the name, and this is all I could fit. But you can see they were kind of going for a white and blue camo. Like, if you got rid of the gold or yellow or whatever this color is, I think it would look a lot better. But for me, the yellow just kind of ruins it, honestly. But it does look really nice. Besides that, like, those turrets are pretty cool as well. But overall, not really a fan of the camo. But the ship is amazing. Definitely get the ship if you can. Alright, so the main course for today is the newest German cruiser. Now you might recognize the hull. It is a Hippert class, or Prinz Eugen technically. But you may notice something strange about the guns. That is because they are not the twin 8-inch guns. They are actually the triple 6-inch guns you find on Nuremberg and Königsberg. She's a pseudo light cruiser, I guess you could say. She has a heavy cruiser hull, but light cruiser guns, and honestly, kind of works, believe it or not. The original name of this ship is Seydlitz. However, my Prinz Eugen sister ship is Seydlitz, and I've become quite attached to it. Oh, hello, go away. So I have changed this name to München. So let's take a look at the stats here. We have 45,200 health. It is in matchmaking 8.5, and you do see 9.0 games quite a bit. So you have a pretty much a Prinz Eugen tossed into a tier 9 game, but with Nuremberg guns. At first I didn't think it would work, but it actually isn't as bad as you might think. Alright, torpedo damage resistance is 16%, armor is 13 millimeters all the way to 160. We have a belt of only 80, which is about just over a 3 inches. But we have the good turtleback armor scheme. And we can check it out here. Yeah, you can see it right there and right there. You don't really get citadeled in this ship, but at higher tiers, where you're dealing with 16-inch and 18-inch guns, it does happen a bit more frequently, especially if you're at a strange angle like this. Yeah, but broadside, not so much, I feel. But surprisingly, these 6-inch guns are quite capable of citadeling yourself on the other side. Alright. 4 main guns, 6 secondaries, torpedo tubes, AA guns. There's the rest of that. The guns. So these are the mainstay of this ship. They're a little bit better than the Nuremberg guns. We have 9.2 rounds a minute, 15-second degree turn time, 2000 HE damage, 8.3% chance fire, 38 millimeters HE piercing, 3750 AP damage, and both shells have a 960 meters per second initial shell velocity, which is really, really, really fast. It does die off pretty quickly over range, though, I feel. So she does have a higher shell arc than I imagined, but it actually works to her advantage because instead of actually hitting the belt armor, where 6-inch guns really won't do much at range, they'll come in and hit the deck or the upper belt, which is really where you want to aim. So in that case, it really, really works. You would think she'd be a good HE spammer, but I found a lot of her shells to either shatter or just 10 with little damage, and honestly, you don't start many fires. It is really, really strong against destroyers, of course, but anything else is no. She's actually an AP spammer, believe it or not. So yeah, you want to find a spot in the map where you can get broadsides of everyone and just rapid fire 6-inch armor piercing shells, and you're actually going to do a ton of damage that way. And I will show you that in game. Main guns are all the way out to 17.4 kilometers, so not much difference from Prinzeugen. Secondaries are 6 kilometers, not really anything special there though. Torpedoes. 8 km torpedoes, 14,400 damage, 64 knots, 0.8 rounds a minute. These are not nearly as good as Prinzeugen torpedoes, or at least the 6 km ones that I really, really love. They do reload pretty quickly, and they do a lot of damage. They even go out farther. But honestly, the guns are the mainstay of this ship, and these torpedoes just don't work nearly as well for me as the Prinzeugen torpedoes. But that doesn't mean they're bad. They're still pretty good. However, at tier 9, a lot of ships have a lot more health, so your torpedoes may not sink them all. So that's where the guns come into play. Speed-wise, we go 32 knots, so technically we're slower than some battleships here at this level, but with all my speed buffs and everything like that, I have her up to over 38 knots, so I don't have that issue. But just keep that in mind. And then she comes with a fighter as well. She actually launches 2 fighters at once. So that's pretty nice when you're trying to take down some airplanes. Speaking about airplanes, we have really, really good AA defense. It is stronger than Prinzeugen. And Prinzeugen is actually really, really good at taking down aircraft because she has a defensive AA consumable. The AA is better for each range from Prinzeugen, but not by much. And at tier 9, the tier 9 aircraft are a lot different than tier 8 aircraft. So you don't really notice how strong your AA is. It's actually pretty mediocre, but you will still take down quite a few planes. Consumables, we have repair, heal. We do not get hydro, we only get def AA. So trying to build her as a full AA ship is not terrible, but like I said, you're pretty much only mediocre. I focus on the guns because that is going to be what you really want to focus on right now. Your torpedoes are alright, they're kind of last ditch, unless you're very aggressive with your torpedoes. Your AA is good, but it's only enough for self-defense, honestly. But your guns, your fire setting capabilities are going to be quite limited. I even have buffs with it, and it's still not nearly what I think it would be. But your armor piercing capability is insane. I can Citadel Missouri's from like 15 kilometers away if I get the right angle. So, enough blabbing around. Let's toss her into game and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what kind of game we have today. Taiho, Missouri Yama, Lion, Minotaur, München, and Fletcher. Pretty small game, but we have one of each class, and we're on one of my favorite maps. Awesome. Alright, so I already have the armor piercing loaded. We have a 4.2 second reload on our guns. These are the torpedo angles, so they're exceptionally good as well in case of an emergency. Turret rotation could be a bit faster, or at least I would like it to be, but I already have as much skills and consumables and modules that I can have to increase it. I don't know if I have the crew skill, but I do have the module. Alright, so we have gun angles of right there. You may block quite a few shells, especially with your turtleback armor. But yeah, try not to give weird angles because they might get a lucky citadel, especially at tier 9. So yeah, we got 18-inch guns, 16-inch guns, 6-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch, and then Taiho is, well, Taiho. So we're just going to race off to the corner here because we're going to get a ton of broadsides on this side. We have 3 heals, 3 defensive AAs, So this is actually where Prince Eugen is also a little bit better because she at least has 4 heals and in infinity def AAs or infinite. But yeah. Alright, so at this kind of angle, I'm not going to do anything to Missouri. But once she starts turning, that's when we can have some fun. Right, I think that's good enough angle to start. And yeah, you have 12 6-inch gun, armor-piercing shells in the air every about 4 seconds or so. And you can kind of see it's going to add up really quick. See, Citadel at almost 14 kilometers. It doesn't happen every time. I say that and I get it twice in a row. But it is very, very nice to get that. And it's just a little bit of damage here and there. It's not the big numbers we see with Prince Eugen, but it adds up really, really quickly. I'm going to switch to a high explosive real quick. Just see if I can eliminate this destroyer. I have been able to one-shot destroyers with the ship. Two Citadels there. Yeah, not really anything there. Got a little bit of damage here and there. The high explosive is kind of disappointing for me, honestly. But that should finish her off. We have Minotaur. There she goes. See if I can get a few cheeky Citadels here. And then finish her off there. So you can see how armor piercing is going to be your friend. You're going to take a torpedo here. No flooding though. Another double Citadel on Missouri. It's only Iowa class battleships that I can actually get some Citadels, specifically Missouri. Alright, we're going to finish capping this base here. But yeah, you want to stay at range and just pepper all the broadsides with armor-piercing shells. We cap the base. I'm going to try and finish off that carrier here in a moment too, once we get around this island. Again, sorry for the coughing. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to breathe again. Alright. But yeah, you just whittle them down a little bit by little. I can switch over to a high explosive here just to show you how it works on battleships here. There's another Citadel. Like, it will do damage, but that was 7 pens for less than 2,000 damage. Let's put our fighter up. We have 2 in the air. Yeah, 6 pens, only 2,400 damage. But when we have armor piercing, well, that one wasn't really a good shot. But, boom, 6 pens, almost 4,000 damage, so almost double that. This isn't really a good angle for Yama, though if you do have this angle, aim for the stern. But we're actually going to tangle with Taiho for a moment. Aim for that broadside. A little too much lead, actually. And there we go. She's at a really bad angle, so I'm going to switch to armor pierce or high explosive, but I don't really expect it to do much. Yeah, less than 1,000 damage for 3 pens. Def AA is activated, so this is as much AA firepower as I possibly can muster right now. Just ricocheting off of it now. So you can knock down planes, but they still got the strike off on me, so it wasn't completely invulnerable. 6 pens, only just shy of 3,000 damage there. Yeah, so at least this is doing damage. It's just not doing a lot of damage. And there we go. Finish the game. Really quick game, but it really showed you how you are a armor-piercing spammer. That Missouri was not having a good time. 194,000 damage, 3 ships sunk, 366 shell hits, 12 aircraft shot down, 21 citadels, 1 fire, 1 assisted cap, 5 defended caps, 14 secondary hits. High explosive did just shy of 24,000 damage with 83 hits, whereas with armor piercing we had 283 hits with 168,000 damage. So it's pretty clear to see how your armor piercing works. We got 1 fire there at the very end. Secondary battery did a little bit on the Minotaur. Maybe it was a Fletcher. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, that Missouri, 91,368 damage. Yama, the few salvos we sent at her, 12,000 plus. Minotaur had 22,000 plus, and then the Taito had full health damage. So yeah. Again, she is a gem ship, so she does not get access to the free XP bonuses that the Prism ships and Prism Camo ships have. But as a gem ship, she's actually really, really good. When I was first playing her and I expected her to be an HE spammer, I was very, very disappointed. But as soon as I switched over to armor piercing, the ship just got way, way better. So you want to stay at range between 15 kilometers or so, and just pepper everything you can. As soon as they angle, though, or enemy ships angle, you are going to have a lot more trouble, because at that point your armor piercing is going to ricochet off their bow, and your high explosive is going to shatter off their front guns. So they'll be pretty much invulnerable if they turn into you. But as soon as they turn broadside or give you an angle where you can get some decent purchase, they're going to feel the pain. And the rate of fire is insane. Whether or not I would get it or not, I'd say get it. It is a pretty unique little German ship, and she does have her good qualities. Definitely good. Little fun purchase. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me next time while we go over something else that as of right now, I do not know what it is. Again, I apologize for all the pausing. That was me coughing. I hopefully will not have that issue in the next video. So, take care, everyone.